How's it going, Rams fans? Welcome into another episode of the Los Angeles Rams Insider Podcast on Sports Illustrated with your host, Tom Cavanaugh. We're going to get things going here, talking today final predictions on this Rams Monday night football game. Hope all of you are enjoying a full Sunday slate of football. Got a lot of good games on today, but the most important one comes in prime time at SoFi Stadium. Monday Night Football, can't ask for anything better. It's the Rams at 4-4, taking on the 2-6 Miami Dolphins. And we'll start with three key stats to the game that'll help this Rams team get another win. They're going for their fourth straight, looking to be possessing a winning record for the first time this year. Started the season 1-4. They've won their last three to get back to 500. But another win here tomorrow on a Monday would be huge to get this team really in the driver's seat in the NFC West. Right now, it's the Arizona Cardinals atop the standings at 5-4. But if the Rams can get to that same margin at 5-4, I mean, that's significant considering the start of the season they had. So we'll go three key stats for the game and then final predictions as well on our score and kind of what I see unfolding in prime time at SoFi. So the first key stat we want to kick off, talk about here is pertaining to the Rams offense. Over the last several games, over their 3-game win streak, I should say, they've scored over 20 points. And this is a recipe for success for this Rams team because, number one, they're playing a Dolphins squad that has struggled to score. Second worst in the league at 15.5 points per game for this Dolphins squad. And just looking at averages there, I mean, the Rams scored 20. They win the ball game just based off that number. But also, I mean, the Dolphins are 0-5 when they give up 20 or more points. So if the Rams are able to get to that number, it's almost impossible so far this season we've seen from Miami to be able to match that 20-point total, overtake it, and win. Now, the Dolphins have scored back-to-back games with 27 points apiece, but they didn't come out with wins in either one. They're losers of 6 of their last 7 games. Their only win came in a 16-10 W weeks back against the Colts. So this Dolphins team, I mean, they're going to need to put on quite the offensive performance, arguably their best one of the season, if they want to take down the Rams. And if Matthew Stafford and his options, Demarcus Robinson, Cooper Kupp, Puka Nacua, and the run game and Kyron Williams as well, if they get going, they put up a couple of touchdowns, a couple of field goals from Joshua Carty, they're going to be just fine and get this one done. Second stat we look at is on the defensive side for this Rams squad. And boy, have they been playing incredible football, knocking the socks off of their opponents in recent weeks. 7 turnovers for the Rams in their last 3 games. 3 picks in that time for rookie undrafted player safety Jalen McCullough. 2 interceptions last week for Cameron Kinchins, another rookie. Those guys have been pivotal in this team's success over the last several weeks in their 3-game win streak. And we're not talking specifically interceptions. We're just talking turnovers in general. If the Rams can force 2, which they have done multiple turnovers in 2 out of the last 3 weeks, did not force a turnover against Minnesota. They won that game by 10 still, but 3 turnovers against the Seahawks, and then they got 4 on the Raiders back 3 weeks ago. If they're able to achieve that, get at least 2, I mean, they can't lose. The Rams are undefeated this year when they have multiple turnovers in a game. But you look at this Dolphins team, they've only turned the ball over 7 times through 8 games. It's been 4 interceptions, 3 from Tua Tagovailoa, backup Tyler Snoop Huntley. He had 1 as well. And then the running game, they've coughed it up 3 times this season. So they don't turn the ball over a whole lot. But the Rams defense is playing out of their mind currently. So, I mean, they're always in passing lanes. Jalen McCullough seems to be in the right spot every single time to pick an interception. But this Rams team, they just traded away cornerback Tre'Davious White, who had played limited time for this team. And I think they can still stack up against the Dolphins, who have really struggled to get anybody going. I mean, their leading receiver right now is Tyreek Hill with 446 receiving yards and just 1 touchdown. It's funny, Devon Achane, their running back, he leads the team in touchdown receptions with 3. And Hill, I mean, to this point last year, if you looked at the stats, he had over 1,000 yards and 8 touchdown grabs to this point over 8 games last season. His production has decreased significantly. And it's only, I mean, if the Rams continue to play their brand of football on the defensive side, they should be able to limit Hill. Jalen Waddle's another guy to watch out for in the pass game for the Dolphins. But he also hasn't been able to get going much this year. So 2 turnovers is big. And then staying on the defensive side, the third key stat is 3 or more sacks for this Rams defense. They sacked Seattle Seahawks quarterback Geno Smith 7 times last week, 3 of those coming from rookies. Jared Verse, he had 1. Braden Fisk, he had 2. A couple of Florida State Seminoles that came over together to Los Angeles this past season in the draft. They were the 1 and 2 picks, and they're showing it just because of their production, creating pressure, and being able to get to the quarterback. And this offensive line for the Dolphins, they've allowed 20 sacks this year, so it wouldn't be out of this world if the Rams were able to replicate what they did last week, grab about 4, maybe 5 sacks, but I think 3 would be key because speeding up Tua Tagovailoa is going to be huge. If he gets the ball out quickly, or when he has time, really is when he succeeds the most. So you keep him to short, quick passes over the middle, or just throwing the ball out of bounds because the pressure's getting there. You take that and couple it with the fact that Tua's just coming back over the last couple of weeks off a major concussion, his second major concussion of his career. So if you get to Tua and you make him run, he's going to be a little bit more hesitant than he has in past games. Remember against the Bills several weeks ago when he went up the middle, did not slide, and took a crack to the skull and was concussed there, out for a 3-week period. So you get Tua to run the ball. He's going to be hesitant, looking for the sideline, looking to slide, not trying to grab those extra yards. Obviously, being a quarterback, you want to protect yourself at all times, but his caution for it is a little bit heightened just pretty much for the rest of his career. I know Dolphins fans, they sit on pins and needles anytime Tua takes off and runs for positive yardage. So you able to get pressure on him. You get him to throw the ball quickly, inaccurate passes, while also making him run the football. That is exactly how you're going to get it done. Now, looking at overall predictions for the contest, I see it coming out in the Rams' favor, 24-16. Rams, they'll get out to an early lead, maybe 14-0, 14-3, and they'll coast up 24-10 late into the game. Dolphins will score a touchdown with about 2.5 a minute left. They'll go for a 2-point conversion to get it to a 7-point game. They will not get it, and it'll be a 2016 final as they're not able to recover the onside kick. They'll score late to keep the game relatively close, inside of 10 points, but I don't see this Dolphins team posting 20+. I mean, they've done it back-to-back weeks, but this Rams defense is stout. I know they got a bunch of rookies on the team, but they've been playing up to the level of one of the best NFL defenses in the league over the last several weeks. So I see it 24-16. Stafford throws for over 250, a couple of touchdowns. I don't know if Demarcus Robinson has that same production he has the past 2 games. He's got 4 touchdowns over the past 2. It's going to be in the game plan for the Dolphins to take away Robinson right around the red zone because, I mean, he has 8 catches in his last 2, 4 of those in the end zone. So in the red zone, they're going to try to take away Robinson, but it's hard to do when you have 3 dangerous options. You got Cooper Kupp, you got Puka Nacua, who is back and hungry. Nacua was ejected and fined after throwing a punch on a Seahawks secondary defender in last week at the end of the first half. He'll be back looking for a big game. Kupp obviously wants a get-back situation. He's likely to be guarded against former teammate Jalen Ramsey, and that's going to be a great battle all day. Very interesting to watch those two go at it. So Kupp's going to look to have a huge game from that aspect. Puka as well, he's hungry. And then DeMarcus, hopefully he's able to continue his production, but I see the Dolphins doing a really good job of shutting him down today. The run game, steady as usual. Kyron's going to go for about 70, 80 yards, a touchdown score as well. So if you get to 3 touchdowns, 2 from the air from Stafford, 1 from Williams, and kick another field goal from Josh Carty, this team should get it done and win by 8 points and move to 5-4 and win their 4th straight game and continue to be one of the hottest teams in the National Football League. That's going to do it here from the Los Angeles Rams Insider Podcast on Sports Illustrated with your host, Tom Cavanaugh. We're going to have a lot of content coming out over the next couple of days recapping this game. Wanted to get everything out in front here, talk about some of the storylines, the predictions for the game, and a few key stats that lead to a Rams victory. Thanks so much, everybody. We will see you again tomorrow here on the Los Angeles Rams Insider Podcast.